What's up folks, my name is Charit and I'm back with another TryHackMe walkthrough. This time we'll be doing the room startup. It's rated with the difficulty easy, but I don't know, it's quite tricky actually. So if you're stumped, I get it. So let's get started by deploying the machine. And while the machine is deploying, let me prepare my workspace. First, I'm going to connect to the VPN network. Okay. And I'm going to make a new directory for the stuff I'm going to capture during the walkthrough. Let's see, 20 more seconds to go. And let's get our handy notes ready. Let me check my IP address. Okay. And sure enough, we have a target IP address. Right now, I don't want to spoil any of the answers. So let's close this browser tab and open up a fresh one. Right. First, let's check if our target machine is up and running. Yes, it is. Alright, let's begin with the usual nmap scan. Alright, we have port 21, usually FTP, port 22, usually SSH, and port 80, usually a web server. Let's wait for the results to confirm. Alright, let's see what we have found. So for FTP we get information that anonymous login is allowed. And there's a writable folder. That means we can upload files into the FTP server. So hopefully that's something we could exploit. Let's see, connecting. For logging into the anonymous account, you use the username anonymous. And you can try password combination anonymous as well, or I try the blank password and I get in. Let's see what we have here. Right, we have a test log, a folder, and a notice.txt file. Now I want to get all of these into my local device for seeing if we can reveal any information. To change my local directory to the working folder, then I'm going to get back on the FTP server. Let's get the files first. get into the folder, see what's in there. Nothing's in there. Okay, interesting. Right, let's leave the FTP connection open. Let's move to a new tab and see what we have recovered. Right, okay. Okay, there's a name here, so could potentially be a username. Let's just note it down for the time being. Let's move to the log file. We're not seeing any useful information. Right, believe that's all we can recover from the FTP server. Why don't we check out the web server then? Now we know there's SSH, but brute forcing SSH should be left for last, because we only have one username. Don't jump to it straight away. Spicier. Right, we could view the source when we can update this. Okay, not much to get there either. So with web servers, we could do a directory search. Go with GoBuster, specify the URL and a directory list. Let's begin with a small word list. So share list verb. Okay, let's see what we can find inside. Files, very interesting. Let's see. Now there's FTP folder and notice.txt file, and the same message that we recovered from the FTP connection. So that means this FTP folder is the exact same one we are accessing through the FTP connection, right? Now that gives me an idea to upload a reverse PHP shell into this folder and execute it via the web browser, and hopefully prompt a reverse shell and access the machine. So for that we need a reverse PHP shell. Now you could always download a fresh one from the from online resources. There's plenty on GitHub, but if I recall, there's a copy on Kali. Let me locate that. Wait, that is yes, there you go. Now I'm gonna copy one of these to my working directory. Okay, let's modify the parameters of our reverse shell. So basically we have to specify the IP address of our local machine and a port number. So basically my IP address. Alright. So that's done. Now I'm going to I have timeout, not connected. Again, cd into the FTP folder. There's nothing, and we upload using the put command, and there we have it. Okay, let's see how successful that is. I'm going to refresh the web browser and go into the FTP folder, and there we have it, a PHP file. I can close the FTP connection, and I'm going to open up a netcat listener. Oops, VP, and my port number is 5555. Now the netcat syntax, it's very important to keep that in memory. You'll be using this a lot in your pen testing career. Okay, let's see how good our shell is. Yes. So now what we did is we executed the PHP file from our web browser, and that made the remote machine to prompt a remote shell to throw a remote shell into our IP address, and it was captured by our netcat listener. First let's see our username. Okay, we are in as www-data. It's a pretty low privilege user account. No matter, let's see where we are right now. Okay, the root directory, right? Let's see what we can see here. Okay, now here we have two files with permission, right? Or if we check the tasks, okay, we have the first task, recipe.txt might answer our first task. Okay, now we need to get privileges on this device. Now we can see which users are available on the device. Okay, we have a Lenny username, so I'm going to record that over here. And before jumping into going through these folders one by one, I'm going to prioritize the files with permission. So this one in particular. So let's see. Okay, we have a pcap file. So pcap, if you're unaware, is a packet capture file. Usually can be opened up with Wireshark, right? It records a certain online interaction, and we can hopefully reveal some information. Now the thing is, we have to transfer this file to our local machine, Kali machine. Now in order to do that, let's see. Now I'm going to begin by upgrading this shell. Now if you can notice, now I cannot recall previous commands. See, the up arrow creates these weird signs and whatnot. So I need to upgrade this shell into a more interactive shell, right? So in order to do that, let's see if we have Python installed. Yes, we have Python version 2 installed. So for Python version 2, the command is python-c single quotation import ptr semicolon my dot spawn open bracket close quotation. Okay, and I'm going to use Control Z to background this connection, then spty dash and fg. You can't see the letters on the terminal, but no matter, just press enter and maybe give another enter. Okay, we have the prompt. Now if we were to use the up arrow key, yes, it's responding. Now what I'm going to use to transfer this pcap file is let's see what my options are. So I do have netcat on our remote machine, so why don't we use that? Okay, let's prepare our workspace. And I'm going to set up another netcat listener, this time on a different port number. Then I'm going to direct the traffic into a file. I can name it whatever I like. Just going to use this name for convenience. Okay, while my local machine is listening, and I'm going to direct a netcat traffic using the netcat command. So I'm in the remote machine. The command goes like netcat, then the IP address, then the port number, then the W flag to terminate the terminal once the work is done, and I'm going to direct the file suspicious stuff. Oh, and it was a quick execution. Let's see at our working directory. Yes, we have the capture.pcap file, and let's open it up with Wireshark and see what we can reveal. Now, reading pcap files using Wireshark is also an important skill you might have to master over time. Now, may look very confusing at first, but I'm going to show you a more convenient way of reading these files. So as you can see, these entries are recording interactions, right? But obviously we can't read it in this form, so I'm going to just right click on the packet and go to follow and TCP stream. This essentially lines up all the related packets and builds the original traffic in a more presentable format, I might say. So we can see a terminal, some sort of a terminal interaction, right? Somebody has issued the ls command and got the file list, then the ls-al command. Alright, this is revealing much information. So they have used the Python command to upgrade their shell, and moving down we see that they tried to open up Lenny's homepage. Now obviously, while you are the www-data user, you cannot read user accounts without permission. Now this guy has tried to run a sudo -l command, which, if you are aware, will prompt for the user's password, and I assume, I don't have to assume, actually it says right there, password for www-data, and we have a password right here. So now the important thing is the password they entered was not correct, right? Sorry, try again. So let's take that password. So we know it's not, it does not belong to www-data. It might belong to the other user account. Well, that's Lenny. Only one way to find out. Let's close Wireshark. And now that we are in a reverse shell, why don't we try to escalate our privileges? And with fingers crossed, I'm going to copy the password, and voila, we are in. So let's go to Lenny's home page, home directory, I'm sorry. So we're going to use the shortcut, the title, that would be the button on a desktop keyboard, that would be the button on the left of number 1. Okay, that takes us straight into Lenny's home page. So let's see what we got here. And right there we have the user.txt file, and let's see what's in the documents folder. Alright, now you can read through these text documents, and they are giving out some hints. And since you are viewing this video, I assume they did not help you, so I'm going to jump right into the privilege escalation part. So let's see what's in the scripts folder. Alright, we got a script, a bash script, and a text file, which are both owned by the root user, which is something peculiar. Now we can execute the script, but we cannot modify it. So let's see what's in the script. Okay, again it's a bash script. It's reading the list variable, writing it onto the startup this text file, and it's executing another script on the etc folder. Let's see what that script is. I'm going to first just check the ownership, right? Okay, we own that script. Interesting. Let's see what's in the script. Right, done. So now I tried going through the cron table, which is like the scheduler on Linux operating systems. But I could not get any clues if the script we just found, the planner.sh script, whether it is executed periodically or what's the deal. But reading the file name, the startup list.txt, I'm going to assume that it is executed periodically and by the root user, right? Now if I try to manually execute planner.sh, I cannot modify the txt file, but I get the result from the bash script in the etc folder, right? Now I can modify that script because we own the script on the etc folder. So what's our plan of attack is, I'm gonna assume the planner.sh is periodically executed by the root folder, root user, sorry. So if that is the case, the script in the etc folder will get executed by the root user as well. And if I modify that the second script to read the contents of the root.txt file and store it somewhere that is accessible to me, to Lenny, then I might be able to get the contents. After all, that's all we have to do. What are the contents of the root.txt file? So let's move ahead with that. Now for the script in the etc folder, I'm going to append new commands that will read the root.txt file and write it to a new file inside Lenny's home folder. So I'm going to do that with the echo command, which is convenient. Otherwise, if you're familiar with Vim text editor, you can easily do this as well. So I just need a simple command that will read the root.txt file, which is usually in the root folder with the name root.txt, right? And I'm going to direct the content of that file into home Lenny, and I'm going to give a file name txt. I'm going to close the quotation marks, and now that whole statement is inside the echo command, right? Now I'm going to direct the echo output and append it. That's why I'm using two greater than signs, okay, not single greater than sign. Please make note of that. I'm going to direct the output to the script etc print.sh, and I believe that gets the job done. Let's just check. Let's see. .sh, yes. So this is the script. It will echo the done as it did already, and here's the new command we've appended. Now we just have to wait and see if okay, that was quick. As you can see, we have a file that is containing some information. So I believe that answers the final task. So I hope I was able to teach you some new skills. Get through these tasks and let me know if you got them all correct. Thank you for watching. See you in another write-up. Cheers.